TTT THROWDOWN!
This week's Throwdown has two versions. Individual for time, 100 cal row for the guys, 80 for the girls, 75 wall balls, 50 line-facing burpees, and 25 bar muscle-ups. But if you want to do this workout with a partner, double all of the reps and split it any way you'd like.
Our demo athletes this week are Bree and Jared. And we're off! Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily. I figured that'd get us started.
Did you take pre-workout before this?
I just had some,
Some NOCO?
Sometimes you got to get a little fired up for these
Red Bull? NOCO?
throwdowns.
What was your flavor?
I don't know. You got to spread your wings and fly, baby. There's some way to find out.
This is our turkey day workout. Gobble, 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 people.
Yeah, so you can do this individually, which is what they're doing, or you can do a partner version where you basically double all the reps and split it up however you want.
Me, a partner or solo?
Partner.
Travis?
What kind
Solo.
of question
Yeah.
is that?
It's
Trav, come on.
Get out of here.
Look,
Friends.
It's
It's Thanksgiving. Give
Thanksgiving. I
thanks.
spend time with my family, but I like to do my workouts alone. No, I've always been, it's just something I like to do. I like to be lonely.
Lone
I'm
wolf.
slowly
All right, so what are we doing on this row here? It's what, 100 and then 80 calorie row for the women?
Yep. I mean,
Yes.
to me, I look at probably my almost like 30-minute pace of what I could almost hold on the row, or a 20-minute pace on the row, something like a 5K kind of target. I think you could. Oh wow, she looks like she's hiding. Can you see?
You can't see her. She's playing.
To me, it looks like if you go out too hot in this, you could definitely have some impact of what's going to come afterwards. Where I think don't empty the load too soon on the rower. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that was the thing. All right.
Oh my God.
So what do we think about average targets for men and women here? Like, are we rowing 1,200 for guys? Because that puts it to about like 20 cals per minute on the rower.
Keep talking, Kyle.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm just gonna keep going.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
That's fine.
distract everybody.
We're moving on. We're
sometimes
moving on.
Things happen.
We're moving
Okay?
on.
To me, I would think anywhere from 12 to 1,400 would be the
Is
target.
that your
of,
5K pace?
I'm a 142.
It's probably pretty close. I can't
So,
remember what the conversion is.
I think is
Yeah,
actually
12.
probably pretty close to that.
I think it's pretty close to that.
I mean, I know my 30-minute is a 145 the whole time. So
I think 5K pace is good. About your 5K pace, if you don't know what that is, something you could row at for 20 minutes at without exploding.
Yeah, and then once you're done with that rower, you want to be able to transition and actually pick up the wall ball and not take a 15, 20-second break. If you did that, it's probably too much. It's just something to keep in mind. Now, it's 75 wall balls going forward here.
75 wall balls. You know what I say.
break early, break often.
Wow,
Hit 'em with it.
boring.
I love a small wall ball set. Let the ball hit the ground. Pick it up right away. I think it keeps it feeling very cyclical, keeps your heart rate down.
I love the complete opposite.
Yeah, I know. We're
side of
different.
that.
But we're both, I mean, obviously you are a games athlete, but we're both
So
good
are you.
at wall balls. I'm a games athlete in a very different way than
I told
you
that
are.
to Mia a while ago that she was a games athlete.
She
She
is.
just kind of rolled her eyes at me.
You
But anyway.
earned that spot.
Anyways, we're both good at wall balls. So it's not necessarily one way or another. It's just,
What works best for you? I mean, to me, I've always been somebody that I like bigger sets on wall balls. For whatever reason, if I do Mia's strategy where I break a little more often, I always feel like my shoulders have a tendency to just blow up really fast. I don't feel like I have such a good rhythm with it, where when I hold on and do a little bit bigger, I don't know why. To me, maybe it's just a mental thing, but I feel better doing that. I don't know why. Maybe I just find a little bit better rhythm.
there may be some of you, but I think there's more of me out
I
there.
would 100% agree.
Yeah, I'm in Mia's boat where I like descending rep schemes. So the reps are small, but I'm thinking about like if I start with 15, I'm going to try to go to 14, then 13, work my way down until like I need to like finish the remainder of the working sets. It just keeps me like engaged in the movement and it keeps me moving. And I'm less like, oh, I did 15. Well, 14 is easier than 15, and then I can keep on going.
I also would need to keep in mind that there's a set of 50 burpees coming after this, and the worst thing ever in the world for me is a big set of burpees. So I'm regulating my wall balls, knowing that is coming for me. And then the second worst thing in the world is a big set of bar muscle ups. So
So you got your two
Yeah.
favorite movements back to back.
Yes, so
I mean, I do think with it being line facing, it is a lot easier than, of course, a bar facing burpee.
You'd think that.
Oh,
But
you don't think so?
you have to do them faster.
Accurate. But I'd rather take a line facing all day over
Yeah.
a bar facing.
Agreed.
To me, being able to, I mean, Bree's doing a great job. So shout out to Bree, and also coached by Ryan, doing an awesome job with this. But she does a really good job of staying low with her hands and how close they are to the ground and not standing all the way up. I think a lot of times people, the more fatigued you start getting, you'll see they'll start to stand up even more and more between each rep. So she's doing a really good job of staying very low and just like hands just plopping and then just dropping straight down to the ground.
Yeah, she looks super smooth. She's alternating her step up leg on every rep. A very easy way to do that if you struggle with alternating is pick one side of the room. You can put something there to look at, like a water bottle or a cone, and you're always going to step up with the leg closest to the cone and spin facing the cone. Why are we laughing? What did Travis do now?
You got pizza underwear?
Yeah, I just got some pizza ones. Yeah. Chris, man, you're distracted for the audience out here.
If you guys didn't hear, Travis has pizza underwear on.
Yeah, I guess my compression was showing.
Anyways, so she's moving super smoothly here. We lost Travis and Chris. Something I think that she could do better is get her chest to the ground at the same time as she gets her hips down. So she gets her hips down and kind of like snakes her chest down afterwards. This is probably a pacing strategy, but I think there's other places where you can save more energy pacing a burpee, whereas just kind of flopping to the ground in one like solid piece doesn't take any more energy than controlling yourself down like that. And actually the way she's doing it is probably bleeding some tricep energy as well.
What do you think about her like step up technique here? She's obviously very smooth, but she's stepping up, and you can kind of tell that her hips are just a little bit higher than maybe what they should be. Would you guys jump up at all here, try to do a swing step and try to keep your hips a little bit lower? I know the set is still 50 reps, so you're looking at a fair amount of volume, and you have to keep in mind that the bar muscle-ups are coming up next, but would there be some like cluster reps that you would do, some quick steps, try to swing step up?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me personally, I'd probably try to do a swing step with my feet, but I would take probably more of a hesitation and pause at the bottom. To me, that's just where I try to find a little bit better cadence, but I would try to like do the jump off the ground and turn and get back to the ground as fast as I can, then take a quarter of a second to a second to like take the breath and then go back and forth with that. I would probably try to go the first 35 at just a smooth cadence and then know the last 15 I'm going to slow down to be prepared going into the bar muscle up to be able to just hop up and knock out a set of 5 to 10, whatever it may be, but slowing down the last few reps to be able to go into that.
What would you slow down specifically about it? Would you go to a step up?
I would go to a step up and then still keep the same cadence that I have on the ground when I would be doing pretty much like the swing and kind of like pop off the ground. But to me, that step up just slows the cadence a little and allows me to like catch my breath a little bit more and then be able to transition as fast as I could to the bar muscle up.
Transition.
She had a pretty quick transition.
Speaking about transition,
set.
yeah, she had a 14-second transition, which is really good, honestly, going from a dense set of burpees, then moving into this also dense set of bar muscle-ups. I kind of lost count of her actual bar muscle-ups here.
She's been up there for a while.
Yeah, it's like 8 or 9, I think. Someone's going to tell me I'm wrong in the comments, and that's fine. But that was I thought that was a great opening set.
You can't hurt us.
Yeah, you can't.
Yes, you can. Be nice.
No, you can't hurt me. That's fine.
Be nice.
Bree is good. She's a semifinal athlete. She was at Syndicate, I believe, last year. So her capacity to do these denser sets is really high. So you're seeing like a really well executed run through of this workout right now.
She has the Alexis Raptis style of bar muscle up where she brings her knees up and then like aggressively drives her hips up while pressing down onto the bar. So she has a lot of tension when she's turning over. On her earlier reps, she was catching pretty high. A plus of this is it's a much faster style of doing a bar muscle up. A negative is I do think it's more fatiguing on the upper body versus if you can like just rotate your body over the bar and let your stomach kind of land on the bar and then use your feet swinging behind you to lift you up out of the dip.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's also, right, like to have a couple different ways to do the bar muscle up, right? Like you have the kind of like first option where you're almost in a full uprise, but not fully going into that with a slight press out. Then you have one where your triceps and arms get a little more fatigued, where you are having to utilize the like hips to come back and then allow you to kind of like kip out of it a little easier. But I think it's a good thing to almost have in the bag, in your back pocket, to be able to resort from, hey, I need to keep a faster turnover speed for it's only 5 reps versus now I got to be able to do 25 of them. Same way if you do a burpee and you jump up or you step up, like having those different techniques to be able to do that, I think goes a long way.
She crushed that bar muscle up
Way to
set.
go.
Her rest
Yeah.
intervals were so short, and her sets were pretty big. So really, really well done.
Yeah, solid.
So now we have our fiance.
Yeah, let's
Right?
go, Jared.
Fiance.
Yep. Yes.
Done with
All right.
burpees.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
here we go. Going to the bar muscle up. I think, yeah, at this point, like you can see the cadence and going into it, right? He seems like he already needs a little bit longer rest.
For
and that's
sure.
okay. But I think being able to just hop up, and even if you knock out a set of 3 to 4 as quick as you can, then try to break down the sets from there, I think will allow you to just get that first set out of the way. I think sometimes you always wait thinking it's going to feel a different way, or it's going to feel better, or it's going to feel worse, where I think just start, get the first 3, and then it just feels better after that. At least that's how I always kind of like to envision it and think about it.
He's
I
got a
think-
lot of power on these.
Yeah, he's definitely restricted. And I don't know if that's just like a general mobility issue or if that's because he went from wall balls to burpees and now to bar muscle ups and his shoulders are just a little bit blown up, which could be true. But to what your point, Travis, like jump up a little bit sooner than you think you should because he's got 25 bar muscle ups to get through, and he's probably going to start to feel better once he gets into the middle of that set. So he can kind of just bank on knowing that his heart rate's probably going to come down, his breathing's going to come down, and the effort per rep is going to probably get a little bit less. So
That has literally never happened to me.
well, I've experienced that a lot.
See, I've definitely,
That's why we're different
I think-
athletes.
See, to
Absolutely
me,
never.
yeah, see, to me, going from the burpee directly into the bar muscle up, those first, I'd say 5 to 8 reps are probably like the worst feeling
Agreed.
of the reps, from the pressing off the ground, from the squatting, and just kind of like how everything was beforehand, where I feel like the middle to the final set usually to me feels a little better. Yeah, you got grip fatigue and other things that happen, but
Same.
like turnover speed and efficiency for me feels better than if I was to come off of like, even if I was doing snatches or some other movement. So
It's good for
Mia,
you guys. Nice.
you're on your own on this one.
Yeah, I mean, bar muscle ups only feel worse.
No.
The
Yeah.
bigger
I
the
mean, I think
set
something
for
for
me.
him to look at here was if you could go on a clock, right? So if Bree was there counting and like, hey, every 20 seconds, you're going to go 3 to 4. Like, I think finding a target at the beginning is a good way to like make up a lot of time watching back to see like, hey, how can I improve upon this performance? To me, that would be something like a simple takeaway is just set a clock. Hey, I'm going to knock out 3 or 4 and kind of go like AMRAP -2 to like keep yourself pretty fresh.
Yeah, based on
yeah.
how his muscle ups look, I think that his pacing here is less about the actual muscle ups and more just like general fatigue from the
Agreed.
workout and engine. So I agree with you, Trav. Being on a clock would probably get him moving through them much quicker, like just knock out sets of 3 and come down and rest 10, 15 seconds, whatever he needs to keep doing sets of 3. Will probably make him feel a little bit less blown up from an engine perspective.
Yeah, I think it's always weird, right? When you're like in the middle of that and you're like, okay, I got to do 3. Like, it doesn't seem like a lot. I could do 5 though. But it's like when you look at like the amount of time you end up resting in between those 2 sets of 5, where you could have maybe done 12 instead of 10, like it really starts to chip away at that. Like, I mean, at this point, he's right around, I think it was probably like 40 seconds into that of the rest, where it was like, hey, if you condense that down to 15 or 20 and now just did 3 or even went to doubles, the more you can just like slowly chip away at it makes a big difference for me.
I also see people try to do these long rests because they're like, oh, mentally I need this long rest so I can try to do a set of 5 or a bigger set to chip away at this. And then they get up there and then they still only do 3 because they're so fatigued. So I think it's a learning lesson for most people just to play with trying to do 2s and 3s if you're in this position, and then try to pick a cadence that you can hold that. So you can practice the turnover of those sets quicker and not feeling like you need to try to go for a big unbroken set, or a bigger set, I should say.
Yeah, something I think definitely to practice. Even if you needed to put a mat or something where it's like a little less jump, like a little less fatiguing, like those little things all play a role into it at the end of it. When you're like, oh, that little bit of jump extra each time definitely adds up. But yeah, I think he's doing a great job of still keeping the muscle up turnover still looks pretty good.
This was a short rest.
Yeah, that was a much shorter rest.
He's got to be close to being done, yeah? Come on, man.
Oh, come on, Jared. Yeah.
Nice.
Was that it?
That was
That's
it.
it.
Yeah,
Great
all right.
job.
Good job, guys.
Way to go.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Gobble,
Happy
gobble,
Turkey
gobble,
Day.
gobble, 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 gobble.
Pay me $100 if I could go unbroken on the muscle ups. Not today. Soon.